Hello guys, it's Jerome Adams, and I'm here with
Daniel Terry
from
Daniel Terry Fight Team.
How you doing today, bro?
Yeah, apart from making me feel a bit egotistical, I feel good. Yeah. I feel good.
Feel good. Good stuff. So we're in the new gym today.
Yeah.
I'm liking it, man. I'm liking it. Like you're saying, the old gym was bad, but
We're still there.
yeah, this is. Oh, you're still at the old gym as well. Oh, okay. So what days? How are you splitting it up?
So I'm here every day. So Monday to Friday and Saturday. Probably come in on Sundays to do a little bit of my own training. Okay. But then we're still at John Durant's Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you want to tell people where the new gym is?
Let me remember exactly where it is because it's new to me. It's 54 Charlotte Street, which is West 1. Yeah.
And what time are your classes available to the public?
At the moment, classes are 7:45 Monday, 7:15 Tuesday, 7:45 Wednesday, 7:45 Thursday, 7:45 Friday, and Saturday 1 till 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you heard it here, guys. If you want to come down, those are the times for the classes. And you've heard about the results that the lads are getting, so you know the training is really good here. Come down when you're ready. So apart from that, moving on from there. So it's crazy. We actually met while I was at work, right? And how did we know? I can't remember how we got to the realization that you was a fighter and that I was a promoter.
Because I was dropping off my girls to school.
Yeah.
And you were doing stuff for my friend. Yeah. For Andre. Yeah. And obviously I saw the logo and was like, that's my boy. Yeah. So we got talking like that, you know?
Yeah, I remember now. And then we got to speaking about Cayenne and how we did BJJ and that I ran a show. And then next thing you know, he's fighting for a title soon.
Yeah. It's a bit mad and it's a bit weird how things sort of turn out. But yeah, man, it was a good, yeah.
Well, they always say like you meet people when you're supposed to meet them at the right time, you know?
I'm not gonna argue with that. Yeah. It does definitely feel like the universe works in certain ways, you know?
Definitely. So a father of a fighter, what's more nervous for you, fighting or watching Cayenne fight?
So, I mean, his first fight, I don't think anything can top that because it was his first fight. Yeah. I know he's tough. I know how good he is, but at the same time, I'd never seen him do a full contact fight. Mm-hmm. So seeing him do a full contact fight, especially because it was in Thailand with no protection, all the rest of it was like, that was more nerve-wracking than I've experienced for myself. Now, though, it's kind of on, I'd say similar, because as his fight gets close, same thing that would happen to me, like my sleep is messed up, I can't really sleep for a few days before the fight. First thing I do when I wake up is I'm thinking of his opponent, whereas I used to be thinking of my opponent. So it's very similar. Yeah, and then the nerves kind of go once he gets in the ring. Yeah.
Which is exactly the same as when you fight yourself, right? As soon as that first bell goes and you just like whatever, you know what it is, right?
Exactly.
You're just there to do a job. Then.
Especially the first couple of exchanges, you know what I mean? And yeah, so it's the same whether it's him or it's me. I couldn't tell you which one makes me more nervous, but definitely his first fight was more nerve-wracking than any of my fights. Yeah, for sure.
But he did really well in that fight. Yeah,
the thing is, he fought like a good Thai boy. It wasn't like a joke fight. It wasn't like, this kid was really good. He was really good.
He actually stopped the lad that he fought before with low kicks, right?
Yeah, another Thai boy, and that Thai boy was good as well. It was a good fight as well. But and I was even saying to his mum, if I'd seen that kid before, I would have said, nah, this is too, like, what they're trying to do, because, you know, he's never fought before, this is too much. Mm-hmm. But really, it turned out that he was too much for the kid. So, yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a good day.
She showed you a lot that day, yeah?
Yeah, she did. And yeah. But to be fair, if she'd seen it before, she wouldn't have wanted it either. and you know, like, she's, on the day, she gets more nervous. She's way more anxious than me. I wouldn't say anxious. Well, she's anxious. I'm not anxious. I'm just a bit nervous. But she won't even come to the venue. So she was just hovering around outside the venue until the fight was over.
Oh, okay.
And then I had to phone her and tell her, and then she came into the venue. So she can't even... She can't even watch. No. I mean, she's kind of getting there now because, you know, he's had, what, 6 now, 7 now. But yeah, at first.
I think as well, like, it's worse sometimes if you, because I've seen, like, my daughter, she's never actually had, like, a competitive fight, but she's done interclubs. And I remember once she turned up to do an interclub and the girl was like 3 years older and she was like 10 kilo heavier. And it's like, you don't want to tell them not to do it because you don't want them to give up. But then at the same time, you know, there's weight classes for a reason, you know? So
when you're young as well,
this is it.
Like, it's not even just the weight classes. Like, say a 12-year-old's brain compared to a 10-year-old's brain, even if they've been doing it the same amount of time, generally the 12-year-old just gets Muay Thai more than a 10-year-old. And they'll technically be better. Technically, and then on top of that being heavier, it's a scary situation. And, you know, that's understandable.
But like you said, like Cain showed you a lot that day, and that day with my daughter, she showed me so much. Like she got knocked down a lot, to be fair to her, but she never gave up and she kept going and going. And then she got to the 3rd round, and I think she kind of had enough of being knocked down so much. She just bit down and just said, you know what, I'm going for it. But sometimes that's what you need.
Well, at the end of the day, those are the things that, you know, you can teach someone a whole bunch of technique, and you can teach them this, that, and the other. But heart, you can't teach. And at the end of the day, her getting up and doing that and just pushing through shows something that is priceless. It's something that you either have or you don't have. Don't get me wrong, you could probably improve it a bit, but, you know, I've seen loads of great people technically, but you know that when they get in the ring, like, the heart's just not there. You know, they're not true fighters, you know, and there's a lot of attributes you need to have, and heart is right up there.
Would you say heart is the biggest attribute?
No, I wouldn't say the biggest attribute because, again, I've seen people that have got heart for days, but can't back it in any other sort of way. You know what I mean, right? You've seen people like that as well, right? And heart is not enough. Heart is, you know, at the top level, there's a certain amount of everything that you've got to have. Do you know what I mean? Whether it be fitness, whether it be skill, whether it be heart, whether it, you know, just passion for it. Like, you need a certain amount. I can't tell you what those amounts are, but you need a certain amount of all of it. And we've seen top level people that are used to just beating people up because technically they're great, but then when they're under pressure, it's like, okay, that side of him is lacking. Do you know what I mean? And the same vice versa. So yeah, I think I'd say number 1 is fitness. Just because, like I keep saying to these boys, I want to teach the skills that I know, and I want them to be skillful fighters. I want them to be smart fighters. I want them to use good ring IQ and all the skills that they've got. But if you ain't fit enough, it doesn't matter what skills you've got. If you're not fit enough to demonstrate that and execute that, it doesn't matter how skilled you are. So fitness has to be up there. Do you know what I mean? And I can say from experience, there were guys I looked at and went, that guy, I don't even need to train for that guy. And I've done that, and I've been complacent, and I've got in there, and you hit them, and it's like, oh, he can take more than I thought he can. All of a sudden, I'm gassed out because I've tried to hit him. Or I'm like, I'll be more skillful than this guy. But then you don't know that his unorthodox style is going to cause you more problems than it. You think, he's just clunky. He ain't as good as me. You get in there, all of a sudden, I didn't train hard. I lose to this guy, and it breaks my heart. So I just want these guys to know that don't think because you're skilled or you can take a punch or you've got heart even, that ain't going to win you the fight. Fitness has to be the foundation.
For sure. Nothing, absolutely nothing will break your heart like losing a fight that you know you have the ability to win, but you lost from fitness. And I'm saying that from experience. I've lost fights that I was winning, and I've lost them because I wasn't fit enough, you know? And that breaks your heart more than the fight was when you get completely knocked out. Because at least in that fight, you know, you was never in it. Do you know what I mean?
You know, anything can happen in a fight. He caught me with a good shot. Credit to him. You can't take that away from anyone. But yeah, if you lose because your fitness let you down,
that's what you need.
You got to go and look at yourself in the mirror and just, you know what I mean? You got to sit with that because you could have done a whole bunch better. This is
it. So talking about top level, you fought at a very high level. Yeah, pretty high level, just a little bit. Where would you say was your favorite arena, to your favorite stadium arena? Where was your favorite place to fight?
You know what? I can't remember the name of the place, but it was in China and it was spectacular. Just the production, it was. I'm not even going to tell you even the name of the city because I'll probably get it wrong.
Do you remember the name? Do you remember who you fought?
Nah, my memory's so bad, man. This was, it was about 12 years ago, maybe longer. But I was like, wow, these guys know how to put on a show. Because it was just, it felt like a real spectacle.
Yeah.
But one thing I did notice, because apparently I think the government gets involved with some of those things, right? I don't know how it works. So there's massive, money injected into it. But it was kind of, as spectacular as it was kind of spectacular for the TV viewers. It was kind of almost fake. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, if you film it, it looks insane, but there weren't that many people there. That makes sense. Yeah. So it was like they had front rows of people and people in suits and army officers. So it looked crazy. But then it wasn't like a sea of people.
As you started getting up to the rafters, there was no one really there.
It was like it was just built to look spectacular. And it did look spectacular. The lighting, all the I don't even know, but the music, the fireworks and the whatever you call it was exactly. It was spectacular, but it kind of felt like it could have had more of an atmosphere if there were loads of people there. But it wasn't built for loads of people. It was built.
Was the arena purpose built for that? Was for that show?
No, I don't think so. But yeah, it was a very weird kind of. It was like insane but strange. You know, it was. I'd say it was the most kind of crazy venue that I've fought at, and probably the most spectacular in terms of how it set it all up.
And in terms of in Thailand, what stadiums have you fought in?
I've only fought at two. Pechbuncha Stadium, and Kayin, help me out. What's the name of the stadium? Hua Hin Stadium.
Okay, small stadiums. And in terms of fighting in Thailand and fighting in Europe, fighting in the UK, where have you fought in? You fought in China. Have you fought in every continent?
No. I fought. So I've never fought in the States. Okay. I fought in Sweden, China, Thailand,
UK.
UK, Scotland. That's it really. That's it, yeah. A lot of foreign opponents, but yeah.
The levels and the what's the word? The atmosphere. Where would you say was the most atmospheric?
Do you know what? It's funny because Thailand has its own atmosphere because there's a lot of gambling going on, right? So the vibe feels quite different. Okay. It's a lot of energy in the room, but
they're a lot more educated as well in terms of they know what shots are actually scoring.
I don't know, because I kind of feel like the Muay Thai crowd here is getting more and more educated. Okay. I feel like the Muay Thai crowd, when I first fought in 2009 versus say 2 years ago, I feel like they're a lot more knowledgeable. Okay. So in that respect, I feel like, and I feel like maybe I'm being a bit of a snob, but I feel like Muay Thai spectators are more knowledgeable and more respectful of the sport than say boxing and MMA. Might upset some people, but I feel like especially MMA attracts. Don't get me wrong, obviously some knowledgeable people as well, but I think it attracts some people that just want a night out and want to see a punch up. Yeah. Whereas a lot of Muay Thai, people that view Muay Thai know more about the sport, care more about the sport. And that's a sweeping generalization. Yeah. But if I were to look at an MMA crowd, standard MMA crowd, standard Muay Thai crowd, I feel like the Muay Thai crowd, they're kind of more, they're connoisseurs of, well, I'm not going to say they're all connoisseurs of the sport, but I feel like they're more educated. Yeah, and yeah. Even though Muay Thai is almost a more difficult sport to understand, so there's that as well. So yeah, because I felt like even coming through the ranks and getting a name for myself and fighting, I felt like I was at least halfway through my career before I fully understood Muay Thai rules, you know? So that's another thing that I try and impart to these guys, because it's not just about going out there and fighting and doing your favorite techniques or whatever. You've got to think about the scoring.
Yes, this is it. This is it. Because Muay Thai, it's not just if you hit him, it scores. Like there's a lot to it. A lot to it, which is something that, as I got myself further on, I started to realize I actually prefer the scoring of Muay Thai. Like, no disrespect to anybody watching, I'm not really the biggest fan of K1. I just think it's a lot. It's funny because what Kaim was saying about Muay Thai is like in Thailand, it's a lot more slower, and I love the rhythm behind Muay Thai, and it's not just who's more aggressive and who's more. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful sport. I'm kind of torn because I kind of feel like, okay, the way that it's moving, I know a lot of rule sets now, they are trying to score things all the same, and it's just about effect. And I kind of get that because a fight's a fight. Yeah. But I like the intelligence behind the old school way, which is like, okay, if you're not hurting someone, obviously whichever technique hurts someone scores effectively, right? But at the same time, if it goes the distance, were you using high scoring techniques? Yeah. Were you using your brain in there? Yeah. And I like that. Yeah. I like that it's not just as simple as just you hit me with whatever, I hit you with whatever, you know? Yeah. But I'm still torn because it is ultimately a fight is a fight.
Of course. I'm the same. It's like, for me, you have to win the fight first of all, because you were in a fight, but I also understand that there's techniques that, you know, that score higher than certain other techniques, and if you're applying those techniques, you're more likely to win. So it's about, like you said, Muay Thai is a lot more about thinking, and I think especially abroad as well, when they're fought at the tempo that they're supposed to be fought at, which is more of a slower tempo.
Well, sorry to cut you, but I think the first 2 rounds.
I was just about to say that the first 2 rounds. And it builds up, and I think sometimes we don't get that build up here, and it just touch gloves, bang, like 2 train crashes, and it doesn't give it the chance to give it the build up, and yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I do appreciate the fast pace 3 round system, and I do like the sort of 5 round stadium thing. Again, I'm torn. You know, I see the beauty in both. Yeah. And I like watching both. Yeah.
I mean, I might just prefer the slower version because I'm big and slow. So, you know, that could just be the reason. So moving forward, so you've got a very good junior team here now. They're starting to get some good wins behind the belts, and Kaim's got his title fight, and I spoke to Gurman off camera about, like, he was looking at, obviously not going for it straight away, but asking me questions about who's a champion at his weight, so I could... So, you know, they're growing and they're starting to get a little name for themselves, which is good. But now you've got the new venue. Is your plan to now build on your adult team as well?
Yeah, because, you know, I feel like you don't really have a team unless you can cater for everyone. Mm-hmm. So, because I've taught Muay Thai on behalf of other gyms for years. I enjoy it. I love my job. And the classes are always successful. And, you know, I get told, oh, you're the most popular class on the timetable. And yeah, so I know that I've got the potential to make good classes, and why do that for other gyms when I can do that for myself? But the other thing about it as well is I organically started these because, you know, they all go to the same school, right? So a lot of their parents are like, when are you going to start doing, I always get that, you know, when are you going to start doing Muay Thai for the kids? And I was like, oh, I'm busy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But then the opportunity came about and I was like, okay, it's just me. And I've got all this other work that I can't give up. Yeah. So I can't afford to pay any other instructors. It's just me. So I'm just going to train Kayin's age group.
Yeah.
So that's how it started a couple of years ago. Yeah, 2023. So like him and his age group. So
Yeah.
I can't make it specifically just for 14-year-olds. So I tried to make it 11 to 18.
Yeah.
But because it's his friends, they all are around the same sort of age. We got some other kids as well, but they're all around the same sort of age. But then, yeah, ultimately I want to open it up to everyone. So then I started looking at where can I find to make this grow. And because these guys are getting more serious and training 3 days a week, they want to train more as well. So yeah, now we've got this place. We're going to be training every day. And yeah, it's great. I just need to get another instructor to help me. Because I always feel like it's good to have an assistant in the classes anyway, but then also to cover when I'm away and to help me with, because I want to open it up to younger kids as well, because these guys are getting older and, you know, which means that I've got no young kids, and I want young kids and I want adults. And I just, yeah, it's for a club, you need to cater for everyone. And it's beautiful to see adults that come to you that have never done anything before, in their 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, and you train them up, same as it is with the 7-year-olds, same as it is with the 14-year-olds. It's just, yeah, it's about sharing that knowledge and just seeing what it can do with people's lives. You know?
I like that. So the plan eventually is to get a big, massive team down on Fight Series, yeah? Big, massive team.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. You know, like when promoters message me and they ask me about, I'm like, soon. Yeah. At the moment, I've only got these teenagers, but soon, hopefully, I'm going to have adults as well and younger ones. That's the goal.
That'd be great, man. Like I'm one of those. A lot of people don't really like to watch the small kids at the shows, but for me, that's some of my favorite fights because you see some of the you see some good techniques as well, but then at the same time, you're likely to see some funny stuff as well while they're fighting. You know, so it's like and it's. A lot of them, they are there because they want to be there, you know, and it's just good to see young kids just having a go and to see that they're getting the spotlight. They're 7 or 8 years old. Do you know what I mean?
The flip side to that I'm not a fan of is the parents. I'll be honest with you, because you can see a lot of the times that, you know, like with Kayin, for example, my thing with him was like, look, I can teach you how to throw a punch. Right, I can teach you to some extent how to look after yourself, and it would be kind of silly for me to not impart some of that to you, right? So it was all my intention was just to show him how to defend himself over the years. If he gets into Muay Thai, which he did a couple of years ago, great. If he doesn't, that's fine. At least he knows how to kind of defend himself and his sisters and all the rest of it. I never put pressure on him, which is why he was doing BJJ for 7 years, from ages 7 until recently. And then,
sorry to interrupt. The whole time when he was doing BJJ, was you just kind of wishing and praying that he would come over to Muay Thai, or you wasn't really?
No, because to me, BJJ, even though there's no striking involved, it's a legit combat sport. And I was, you know, and I knew that he knew how to throw a punch. I knew, you know, he could. You know, but BJJ for me is pretty legit, and it's only when he had the idea of getting into MMA that he was like, oh, maybe I should do a bit of striking, and he was injured from BJJ, so he decided to give striking a little bit of a go, and then he just fell in love with Muay Thai. So, and that obviously warms my heart. But no, I never really wanted to pressure him. I did pressure him once to do an interclub because I was like, look. Just do it for me. Just do it. And he didn't want to do it. He hated the idea, and I kind of forced him into do one in the club.
How old was he then?
How old were you? Do you reckon? Yeah, something like that. Then he was just off it for ages.
Did he enjoy it?
No, not really. No, because I think, I don't think so. I mean, he likes any kind of fight, but it wasn't the right time. I'll be honest with you, what it was, I remember being at school and people knew I did martial arts and people stayed clear of me. I was always small. And, you know, but people knew I did martial arts and they steered clear of me. And I kind of wanted that for him. Because I know in social media era, all your friends need to see is, and they'll leave you alone. So I told him that at the time. I was like, listen, you're good. Just do this. So he kind of did it for me and then just left it alone for a long time. Went back to BJJ. But then he came to it sort of like off his own volition. Yeah. So obviously I love that because I can share that with him and all his friends as well. But there was never any pressure. Now there's pressure because it's like, listen, you're good. People are coming for you. So you have to train. But if he decides to go off and do something else, that's on him as well. You know,
I love that.
yeah, I see too many parents that are just pressuring their kids, and very often the kids are not really on it, but it's their parents' dream. It's their parents' dream, you know, especially in the days of Conor McGregor and you know, the superstar. You know, I don't like seeing pressure from the parents, and I don't like seeing, and I think that's why he doesn't want to get into the ring and do the face-off, because I don't like kids like going at each other in like a nasty way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like seeing that. I just want, if you get in a ring and fight, show me your skills, but don't watch all that nonsense and feel like you need to be like these bad guys on TV. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not about that. I try and get these guys to be respectful and you know, I try them to act like real martial artists, not just fighters, you know? And I think, I'm not a fan of all of that. And I feel like a lot of that comes from the parents.
And we'll leave that one right there. So, the last thing that I'll say is moving forward with these guys, and with obviously Cain being just a step ahead of the other ones, what is the next step for the next lads, and what's the next step for Cain?
So I guess, I mean, Cain turns 16 in September. So I guess from the first time he got matched, he was against someone really experienced. Every time he's fought someone, he's had someone really experienced, apart from one fight. Because for his level, he's very good. So he's always fought champs and more experienced guys. And first fight, for fights, he was #1 contender fight, so I've just been trying to get him a lot of experience because he's up for it. So like you might have mentioned, in the recent months, he's had quite a few fights. Yeah, he's had 5 fights. Some of them have been like next week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know. And I've been trying to just bring the boys along with him. Not as much as that, because he's fine with that pressure. I don't want to put that pressure on them. And the other thing is like his weight, because I'm at home with him, so I can help him. Whereas I can't help these boys. And it's not, you know, I don't want to be pushing kids into fights this month and that month, and it's unnecessary. But because he's fighting kids that are so much more experienced, he wanted to rack up some experience. Yeah. But I've said to all of them, we're going to slow down, because I don't want to be fighting all the time. You don't need to be fighting all the time. Just relax, enjoy the journey. And I don't want them dieting all the time as well. They're growing boys. And I don't want them dieting all the time. I don't want to be a reason why they're like 2 inches shorter than they should be. Do you know what I mean? Like, let them be. And I don't want them fighting and cutting loads of weight. I want them to kind of fight around the weight that they're at. So yeah, after he's got a couple of fights coming up, and then I'm slowing it all down, and we're going to work on skills, and we're going to fight every now and again.
Okay.
And then obviously, because it's just me, when the adults get involved as well, that was another reason why I said to them, listen, I'm going to be really busy with you guys, because when the adults come, there's going to be less of me. So let's enjoy this busyness now, because it will slow down.
Okay. All right. And
I'm going to keep them all, as long as they want to, I'm going to keep training them and building them and getting them out there, because they're at that level now where they want to fight. So, yeah, let's do it.
And so the lads were saying that a lot of you are going to be going out to Thailand in July, and they were saying that they was going to be thinking about fighting. And I'm thinking that none of them have, I don't think, and other than Cain, I don't think any of them have seen you fight before. So will you be putting on the gloves and showing them how the coach does it over in Thailand?
I do not train at all. Well, I trained once with him last week. When did we train? Sunday. So I'm trying to squeeze in like a bit of bag work once a week, twice a week. I'm doing nothing else. So my fitness is terrible. But I did say, if I can get some level of fitness before we go and they offer me a fight, I'm not going to ask for a fight. If they see it in me and they say, like when I was there a year ago, whatever it was, they offered me a fight. If they see that in me, then yeah, I'll take it.
So in Thailand, is that I've never been, so and I'm going to be going over in October. It's a bit of a side one. Is that how it works? If do they just offer you fights out there if they think that you're ready, or how does it work?
Yeah, so they'll offer you fights, or you can ask for fights. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it depends where you go because they cater for all different levels. Okay. So if you're a pro, they've got someone for you. If you're just into the sport and you're like good enough to fight, they've got someone for you. So you can ask for a fight or they'll offer you a fight. Because in Thailand, it's kind of like back in the day when I used to go like 15 years ago or whatever, if you were good or if you train Muay Thai, they're like, what? You don't fight? What? Why don't you fight? Because for them, it's work and life. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Whereas here, we're doing it for a passion. We're doing it. A lot of people are doing it for a hobby. It's changed a bit more now. Yeah. Obviously, they've got touristy gyms, but it's kind of like in Thailand, people train to fight, to feed their family. It's work. Yeah. So they look at you a little bit weird especially if you're decent and you don't fight. Yeah. If you're old like me and they say, okay, listen, I've retired, that's understandable. Yeah. But if you're just good and you don't fight, it's a weird concept. They don't understand. It doesn't really make sense. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. But yeah,
you're scaring me now.
I'll tell you. Yeah, I mean, you'll probably get offered a fight. I mean, that's unless you just say, oh no, I'm just here for holiday. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but if you're decent, they'll offer you a fight. Depends which gym you go to, and depends how many. Because if they've got loads of fighters as well, and you're just there for 2 weeks or whatever it is, maybe not. It depends what they got going on. If they've got a busy gym with loads of fighters, even if you're decent, they're like, oh, how long you stay for? And you say, oh, a week or whatever. They're like, okay. But if you say 4 weeks, the look changes. Yeah. You say 6 months, it's like, oh, okay. We line you up. So
they start thinking about what stadiums they're going to take you to and stuff. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been good talking to you, Dan. It's been really good catching up with you and getting to know you a bit better. Like, obviously, we always have a good chat and stuff when I see you and when we're at the shows and stuff. This is it. So it's been nice to really sit down and catch a bit of jokes and find out a bit more about the boys and that. And it's really good to see what you guys are building there, man. And I'm excited to see what the future holds.
So when you come down, bigger and better.
For sure. Thank you very much. And I'll see you guys soon.